Slaanesh, what's that then? Some type of fish? Whatever he is, he ain't bigger than Mork. Or possibly Gork. It's turn number 37 of my All Warhammer Nations Dominions 5 game. I am playing as the Orcs and Goblins, otherwise known as the Greenskins, and specifically the Bone Nose tribe, which is the Savage Orcs and Forest Goblins. Research and alteration is completed. I think that's... What level are we at? 4. I'm going to do 5 and then we'll be able to do Mother Oak. Casting some forest spiders and things because I thought I might still be under siege, but I think I am no longer under siege. More Gutsman construction continuing. We've got tons of Gutsmen, they're very nice. We should work out what we're going to cast to them. Basically, Gutsmen work really well with big buffs to make them a lot stronger. Fog Warriors is fantastic on them and so on. Some Blood Slave income, which is good, and Backstab of the Forest Goblin Great Shaman disappeared one night and was never seen again, so I lose a Forest Goblin Great Shaman right here at the end of this war. Yeah, without having a spoiler, it is the end of the war because Slaanesh are done this turn. Their goose is cooked. We will see about that soon. So we've got a battle in Ascends. This is us attacking the Tomb Kings. This is Wargrimdreg. Just some province defense. That's a simple one. We're attacking the Dark Elves in New Spring. This is Gorkzilla, and we are squared off against Shadowblade, the Death that Walks Unseen. Now, originally when this happened, I thought, oh, he has been clever and sent Shadowblade to try and kill Gorkzilla. He's predicted I'll attack, and he's gone, oh, I will just send my one assassin to sit in that province and fight him. I thought he was doing that. But actually, the player mentioned that they had been trying to send Shadowblade into the arena, for the People's Arena, which makes sense, right? Shadowblade works absolutely fine in the People's Arena. It's got Howl Quill, that's kind of funny. Yeah, so he would go into the People's Arena very nicely. But instead, he is going to fight our god, a different type of arena for an assassin like Shadowblade. So those wolves aren't going to be a problem for him, but possibly our god will. So we're doing Iron Skin, Fire Shield. Let's speed things up. Iron Skin and Fire Shield are both good against him. Skeletal Body. I think that's good against him. Are these piercing weapons? Blade is slashing and piercing, yeah, so potentially good. Summon Earth Power. He's still got an arm missing, isn't he? Yeah, so he hasn't quite got as nasty stuff as you would expect. And then he comes. Oh, we've got a good poison resistance because he does do some nasty poison stuff. He's throwing his shurikens at us. What are they? Lotus daggers. Acid damage, armor piercing. Yeah, acid damage. So they can chew up my protection in theory. I don't think they're actually hitting me, are they? I don't know. Anyway, we've got a Frostbrand, and he does not have cold resistance, so he is definitely in for a short fight. Let's see, he comes charging in, he slashes at us, we whack him. It's the cold damage that's hitting him, and then he's taking fire damage from the fire shield. Yeah, so it's the elements. My god actually can't fight very well at all anymore outside of Turmoil Dominion, but the cold will do the trick, and he manages to kill Shadowblade. R.I.P. Shadowblade, you did kill quite a few orcs and things. Old age, annoying. Unexpected event in Esquania. Lost in Dominion plus growth. Boat Eater, we get some gold and some unrest. That's fine. Forbidden Fields, we get 7 Astral Pearls. That's quite a nice event. And then we have a worldwide event. It is the Arena Battle. So, first one is Slaanesh against Orcs. Slaanesh has got a very nasty thing in the People's Arena here, which is a Herald of Slaanesh. So in the People's Arena, just to make it clear, everyone gets a Slave Collar, which means no magic. Everyone's got the Feeble-Minded Affliction. Magic Seal 0, and then they've got a few minuses as well. But having the Wraith Crown means that this Herald of Slaanesh comes with a ton of Long Dead, which is pretty nasty for a People's Arena. And something that I realised is that I have unfortunately told Bogdrinker to sit still for like 5 turns before he attacks, which is not how you want to script stuff in the People's Arena, so it's not great. And this is quite a nasty matchup. The other thing that gives is ethereality, but of course, this being the People's Arena, we have got plenty of things with nice thug equipment, and I imagine everyone else will be sending magic weapons and things in too. I did try to encourage people to take part in it, even if it's not a good idea, and this is not a good idea. This is kind of a waste if we get killed. Anyway, the Long Dead shouldn't be too much of a problem because of our very high protection and a little bit of repel that we're able to do. So you can see he's repelling there, keeping the Long Dead off him. And then he is slowly going to start chopping at them. But at the moment, I think because he's on hold for 5 turns of attack, he doesn't even attack them until now. And so he is starting to chop through them now. In comes the Herald. And immediately gets hit with the Astral Serpent. Astral Serpent does so much damage in poison that even having poison resistance 10 is basically no help at all against it. Yep, so that's the Herald gone, and then the Long Dead will fall apart. We were pretty lucky there to come through that in one piece. Took a tiny bit of damage, but nothing major. So, well done. Then we have the Ogres attacking Khorne. So this should be a nasty fight. Let's have a look. We've got Sog, Bull Smash, the Gutsman. Sog, Bull Smash? Oh yeah, I forgot. He doesn't have a name, does he? Oh no, Bragg is. That Bragg is his name. So I think I may have got a bug here that he should be called Bragg the Gutsman, but he's called Sog Ball Smash. Possibly the player has renamed him. I think they're allowed to, but let me just check that actually. I'm going to go and check that right now, which is not very good viewing for you, but I want to check. So the Gutsman. Let's go and look at the mod. Bragg the Gutsman. He has no fixed name. Okay, so that's an easy one. So I'll just give him a fixed name of Bragg. There we go. So we just fixed a bug. That's always nice to do. Yeah, so he is very, very nasty, and he's got good equipment. He's got the Ring of Regeneration. He's got Boots of Giant Strength, which means he hits super hard. He's got Black Steel Plate, which is pretty good armor, so he's got good protection. And then he's got the Dragon Helmet. So kind of cheap equipment apart from the Ring of Regeneration, which is really, really good. But he comes with a great Gut Gouger, which is 2 attacks, Flail, so really good against shields, armor piercing, huge amounts of damage, and area fear. It is a super vicious weapon, the Gut Gouger. One of the most powerful weapons that any hero has got. And the Khorne, he ad egestatum salutant te. I don't know what that print is translated as, but that's Latin for something to do with economics, I imagine. That's the theme of Khorne. Very nice in general, an exalted hero, very strong, and he does have the braces of protection, but without other items, he's going to be a bit outmatched in this arena, I think. And we can see that Bragg is also set to hold for a bunch of turns of attack, which is probably an accident on his part as well. Well, we did take a hit there, but he immediately regenerates. This is the great thing about a Ring of Regeneration. After every fight, you get a few rounds to regenerate your health back, so very strong. This is us fighting in against Wood Elves. Bogdrinker, there he is again, just to remind you. The Wood Elves have said something pretty good here. It's a Glade Lord. The Glade Lord has got a Black Steel Kite Shield, so he's going to be difficult to land a good hit on. He's got Black Steel Full Plate, so he's got tons of protection, which he needs because his hit points are not that high. He doesn't have a weapon, unfortunately, for him, but he does come with built-in Stag Antlers, Lance of Spite, Stag Hoof, and a longbow, so quite a few things. Let's see how he does. My bet would be that we're unnecessarily getting shot at him a few turns here, because I should just be charging in. Bad scripting. My bet is that he's not going to last very long in combat with me as soon as I land a good hit, because he just doesn't hit hard enough. Good weapons, but not going to hit hard enough to take my Bogdrinker out. We go charging in, we exchange blows, we land a nasty hit. There's that poison from the Astral Serpent. It's actually really good at killing stuff. So even if we lose, we're going to kill him with the poison, I think. But we kill him anyway without even taking a hit. No damage for us. Well done, Bogdrinker. Then we've got Brittonian. So the Brittonian is AI controlled, and so they stupidly send in a mage, which we get to fight, which is quite fun. They come charging up and take a few slaps at us. Yeah, we're not even fighting back because we're set to hold. And then we kill them. And then, this is a bit unfair that I've had to have so many fights, and then the Ogres just to fight me. So here's the Ogres fighting me. So we've got Sogball Smash the Gutsman. The concern here is that he lands a hit, 40 damage armor piercing, oof, 16 attack and 2 attacks. And it's a flail, so it kind of ignores our shields. We don't have enough defense, maybe. I don't know. If we can get the hits in. The thing is, we are set to hold. It's a bad script. So let's see how we do with our bad script. Both of us just staring at each other for a bit because it's we're both scripted to hold. He comes charging in. Hopefully we're going to stop holding and actually fight back here. We could do with charging him. Come on, Bogdrinker. Come on. Ooh! They exchanged blows. No damage to Sog. I think one of his attacks got repelled, maybe. We just took a terrible hit. Never healing wound and down to 10 hit points. Very nasty. Let's unpause it and see what happens next. And we are routed. Oh, but we still get to do a hit. Oh my god, so close. Down to 21 hit points. A lot of damage to him, but he's going to get to hit us now. We're routed. That's that. Yeah, gone. So if we'd have scripted that a bit differently, maybe we could have won. But to be honest, the Gutsman's weapon, the Great Gut Gouger, is just extremely vicious. It really is. Right, so there we are. The winner of the death match is Bragg, also known as Sog Bull Smash, the Gutsman. Well done, Ogres. Got to look out for him if we get into a war. We're under siege and Raymond, our walls are damaged. Yes, but Slaanesh is now dead. So what happens when a god is removed because of Dominion, then a Dominion not existing anymore, is the troops still appear to be there. So you can see there is their backstab of the Forest Goblin Great Showman, who just switched sides. And we've got the Chosen Warriors and Slaanesh Sorceress. They appear to be there, but when we go to those provinces, those troops will not be there. So the next turn they won't be there. So we can just break siege and we'll get that province back. We're attacking this with some troops. We don't need this many troops. We could literally just use a scout, and that's what we're doing here. Is we're sending just a scout to take that, but we're making sure we take those back. And then we need to think about what we're doing next. I think that it looks like the Dark Elves are just gonna try and like make our life difficult and hold out here, and they've basically lost their capital to Khorne, but they're not really trying to defend it. They're just going to try and defend it here. They have more Dominion than Slaanesh did. They've got Dominion kind of spread out all over the place, and they've got a fair chunk there. I could certainly get them under siege, but I don't have the troops right now to do that. I'm sending my god out because I don't really care if my god dies still, even with all this equipment at the moment. So I'm just going to send him into attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm not really interested in conquering the Tomb Kings, but they did attack me, and we are orcs, and so I think we should give them a bit of a kicking. So I'm going to be sending some stuff to fight them. I'm also sending in. I've got this thug Zogfang who's going to go in, and if an army moves into there, hopefully he'll be able to chomp through those. So he's doing Mistform, Personal Regeneration, Fire Shield, very important when fighting the Tomb Kings. Blessing, Flight Attack, Rear. So he's got a good chance of doing something useful, even against an army casting lots of spammy stuff. And the rest of my forces are moving down here. I'm hoping to catch an army or something down there, just cause trouble and make the Tomb Kings worry. I think they might think I was going to go there, or they might try and move onto here and hit me and then have to fight that thug. Anyway, Grimdrake has to just keep getting into battles and knocking over provinces. I would like to go and deal with the Dark Elves, and so I probably should start moving my big army. So you can see I'm moving a portion of them down, and maybe I should send Gutstabber moving down as well, and the rest can storm. You know, it doesn't matter what storms the castle, but yeah, let's just start moving people down, and we'll kind of surround them at least. And I kind of should deal with the Dark Elves. I just don't really like fighting people when they're down to nothing over what amounts to a not super important fort. We've already kind of ceded the capital to Khorne, so yeah, I'm not super keen on it. Anyway, elsewhere, blood hunting continues. Continuing to do lots and lots of research with our lovely new lightless lanterns. So you can see our research score now greatly increased. We can probably get that way up to like 900, 1000. I think that shouldn't be too difficult. We can keep forging lightless lanterns. We're going to be doing at least 2 a turn, probably more than that. We are also forging. We've got Armor of Knights being forged in our Earth Gems. We've got a Moonvine Bracelet, which is a Nature 1 booster. We've got a Skull Staff being forged, and that's with the Dwarven Hammer because we don't have very many Death Gems. So the Skull Staff will be a Death booster, so we'll be up to Death 3 there. I don't know that we've got a way of. I think it's maybe these guys can get us to death. No, they can't. We can only get up to death 2, I think. I don't think there's any way of getting up higher than that. Not from there. Can one of these get up to death 2? They can get up to death 3, but it's very unlikely, and so I'm not even going to bother. But we can get to death 3 with the use of the Skull Staff, and then there's stuff we can do from there. We definitely want to get some more death income. It's really, really pitiful death income, and Earth's not great either. Anyway, we should try and work on that. I am moving. Where are you? I'm moving. Here he is. Zalis over, because if I put Earth Boots on him, he'll be able to do Crystal Coin, but because that's Earth and Astral, which don't have that many Earth Gems, I want to get him over here before I do the forging with him, so he's moving over there to do that. I sadly didn't have any boots free, otherwise he could have moved directly there, but so we should definitely make some more boots as well. We've got Frostbrand going up, Lightless Lanterns, of course. I think I'll have Grabtooth just forge some more messenger boots. They're so useful for everything, so we'll just forge those. Oh, unless the Mile Stride ones are really good, but you can't use them for other things, and they're double the cost of the boots of the messenger. So let's just do boots of the messenger, which are good for thugs as well. So we're getting boots of the messenger up. Do we have someone who'd be better placed to do that? No, we want to do it in this province. I guess we could have Grishnik. Let's not be try hard actually, and like move all our research items around constantly to try and get the optimal shuffling of things. Let's not bother. So, forging lots of new stuff. Gonna start making plenty of thugs with units like Grubmans. Ooh, Air 3. Where does Fog Warriors come in? It's so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can get up to 5 plus 3. If you are at Air 3, you can't cast that. If you're at Air 4, you can, because you can put yourself up by 1 and then use 3 to cast it. So you need Air 4 to cast that. Can I get to Air 4? We've got a lot of air gems, so we could, in theory, empower. What would it take to empower Grubmans? 60 air gems. He would then be empowered, and I believe he could forge for 4. We can then get the winged helmet, which puts us up to 5. That is probably worth me doing, even for that very high cost in air gems. It's not worth me doing at the moment, but it's probably worth me doing at some point. So we'll have a think about that. Yeah, lots of other things that we could have as research targets, but I think an obvious thing for us to do is Alteration 5, hit Mother Oak. Wooden Warriors is very nice as well. Army of Giants is also very nice. Lots of nice stuff up in Alteration. But we're going to go Alteration 5, and then we're going to switch over to Enchantment level 6 and 7. And it's going to take a while to research that, but it gives us access to Relief, which is a very good spell, and it gives us access to Gift of Health, which I personally just really like. It's not actually that amazing or anything. Could we get up to 6 Nature to cast that? Now that I come to think about it, well, we could certainly awaken a Tree Lord. Yeah, it would be kind of fun to do Awaken Tree Lord, Gift of Health, right? So let's just say that we're doing that for now, and we'll work out what we're doing. The reason I'm thinking about Gift of Health is partly just that our god is incredibly messed up, but it's not, it's not that important that we fix him. I think it's just fun. And Gift of Health is strong for making your units just generally tougher, which is good for the orcs. Yeah, but at the moment, just kind of reveling in the fact that I finally killed Slaanesh. The plan worked. I spoke to the player and they said they didn't actually realise I was doing that Dominion plan. They didn't keep a close enough eye on it, and so that was they thought they had a bit more time to do some more damage to me, but they didn't, and so we just picked them off. But yeah, we're going to get Slaanesh taken over. I think we're building a temple this turn. We always want to be having temples up. Yes, I'm going to try and get a temple up as often as I can and really just beef up our Dominion with those. Those are nice. They don't cost any upkeep or anything, obviously. And the blood income's coming in. So we've also got an empowerment going on here. Aeolia is going to be at blood 3. So lots of cool stuff going on. That's it for this turn, so I will see you next turn. Welcome back. It is turn number 38. Let's see how we're doing. We've got Alteration 5, so we can cast Mother Oak, and I think there are a few other things in there. Let's have a quick look at Alteration 5. So the main thing was Mother Oak, which we'll be casting this turn. Wooden Warriors is nice to have. Don't think we can realistically cast many of those things. We could get Iron Warriors up. Iron Warriors is really good. We don't have a lot of Earth 2s though, but we can get that going. And Bone Melter, potentially. And Incinerate, potentially. But basically this is about Mother Oak. And after that, we're going into Enchantment, and then finally back to Conjuration. The reason I decided on Conjuration 6 is because Conjuration 6 gives us access to... So we've already got... what was it? It was Streams from Hades. Streams from Hades will let us get to a native Death 3. You can get a Water 3 Death 3 caster. We can get to Water 4 Death 1, I'm pretty sure, because all we need to do that is to get Water 2 Death 1 native, and then we've got 2 water boosters that we can do. So I think we have that. Let's have a look at our messages. So more constructing of stuff. We found a magic site in the Forest of the Lost. It is the Canyon of the Playful Winds for one air gem rather, which is always nice, but we haven't really been discovering a whole number of magic sites recently, but we haven't really been hardcore searching for things. We've had a very good magic income so far. Take control of the province of rocks. These are the ones where we're just taking things from Slaanesh, so Cathedral of Rock, Copper Canyons, and Rame and Slaanesh. We take all of those, and there's no resistance because the Slaaneshy stuff all goes poof and disappears. And we attacked the Tomb Kings in Ireme, which I believe was the original place that they took off us. And we've attacked this with our god. Now, it's kind of an interesting fight that's going to happen here because we've got 2 Horde of Skeleton Casters, and their bless. They have blessed themselves. So they've got quite high fatigue, so maybe they will fatigue out. But that is a lot of undead for our god to get through, even with Fire Shield. Yeah, look at the rate of these that they're casting. So I think they're about to fatigue out now, not blessed still. But they're going to wake up pretty quick. You know, they're going to fatigue out, sleep, wake up, cast a Horde of Skeletons, and maybe sometimes animate dead. Yeah, raise dead. See, off script. There's the blessing. Okay, what's their bless? Yeah, we've seen this before, of course. It makes them very tough, but it's not going to deal with their fatigue issues. So we slowed down their casting at least, but look how much stuff we have to work through to get to them. And we do have to get to them to kill them, because none of this will count towards a hit point round. So let's put it on full speed, and we'll assume our god is slaughtering all of these undead with absolute ease, and is going to kill these archers too. We can see that just every now and then we get a horde of skeletons out of them. Every time they wake up from being asleep, they just cast some more troops. And we have to kill all of those. So we can see we are chopping through them. The Frostband's no good, but the Fire Shield is just annihilating stuff. But we can't walk very quickly with our god. He is very slow, which gives them more and more and more time to throw stuff at us. And they could time us out and make us retreat here. The attacker retreats first. So let's skip ahead through a few rounds. Next, next, next. I mean, look at this. Kind of a silly fight, right? You can see how troops would actually have quite a bit of difficulty with this unless you've got stuff that attack rear. They cast some scorpions too, those get destroyed. If the Herald, because the Herald wants to lead the troops into battle, so he stays behind them, if he gets within our range... Oh, they've switched to casting Smite Demon, which is good news for us. It's not very effective against us because we've got decent resistance. We're, tough and can regenerate, but that's better than them constantly casting hordes of skeletons at us. That's going to let us get closer. You can see we're inching our way forward. Oh, got slowed down for a couple of turns there. Hit with a few more smites. Yeah, we're kind of stuck. We need to get closer than this. Oh, we've got a chance to kill him. No, he's run off. If we can kill him, I think that would cause a rout. He got next to us. We took kind of a bad hit there, but we've got regens, doesn't matter. And they are routed because we managed to finally do some damage and routed the Tomb Herald. So we're good. We take that province. Could have been quite tough. Another thug probably would have lost that. And then we've got a battle in Bergamum. We're attacking them again here. This is Wild Grimdrag. It's just province defense, so we take that easily. We've got Slaanesh, and we've got some events. Bone Nose Tribe. We've got our national hero turned up, Grom the Paunch of Misty Mountains, the famous giant goblin who ate troll flesh and so can regenerate. And he's brought with him some goblin troops, which are not very good, but it's thematic. In Zemike, an earthquake has struck, killing many people and destroying our temple. So where was Zemike? Do we need to rebuild our temple? So it was here. So we should send somebody to rebuild the temple there. Simple person to go and rebuild the temple would be Little Nooblet. Send Little Nooblet over there to do that. Yeah, that's fine. Not going to try and micro that too much. Abokte got some air gems. Terim, wow, a nice rare event here. Tons of gold, 1,740. Fire gems, air gems, water gems, and earth gems, plenty of those. And a dancing trident, which is a nice misc slot weapon. We can give that to Grom. And then we witnessed a battle in Falgoth. This is just some trolls trying to take over. But you can see the dwarfs have got a lot of province defense here, and that includes their own troops in the province defense. So The trolls are not going to do very well here. They're just going to get shot to pieces by the dwarf crossbows. Yep, so what are we up to this turn? So step number 1 is casting Mother Oak. So Glogzog Rat Smasher, Savage Orc Great Shaman, with the help of a Thistle Mace is going to cut and a Moonvine Bracelet. He's up to Nature 5, and he is going to cast Mother Oak, which is going to give us a good income. I'm casting that pretty low in terms of gems, haven't put that many into it, but it's still got tons of nature gems, but that's going to give us a real great nature gem income. It's just a very good global to get up. Always a good one to have up. We are also we've got Grom. We've given him some basic equipment. So Grom's kind of interesting because he's surfing on his chariot here. He gets a foot slot, so we can give him a messenger boot. Should we? Yeah, let's just leave the messenger boot on Grom for now. Actually, well, maybe not. Maybe I want to because he's not going to be in battle for a bit. But I want to turn him into a thug because I think that's more interesting than not. Basically. At the moment, he's got Barkskin Amulet, which is not great, but gives him a bit of protection because you can't give him armor because he's too fat to wear armor. He's got a Dragon Helmet. I'm going to forge some Boots of Stone for him to give him the automatic stone skin and get rid of the Barkskin Amulet and probably give him some other useful misc item. But he's got a Dancing Trident, which is cool. That allows him to do a bit of repelling. He's a bit of a beast. His great strength is that he has 30% regeneration, so if you can make him bigger. So yeah, maybe the thing to make him bigger, the is it Amulet of Giants? How do we forge that? It's just nature, I think. Let me see. If Nublet, instead of moving down there, can you forge it? Amulet of Giants, yeah. Max size 4. Yeah, it doesn't help him because he's already size 4. Yeah, I'm not sure actually how I would get his hit points to go up. I could put the Lycanthrope's Amulet on him because, and that will make him berserk, which could be useful. It means we can't have him hold back, but it would give him more regeneration. The reason you can do that with Grom is he'll never turn into a werewolf because he's size 4, so he can't. It's safe to put on him. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have a think about what I should put on him. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any ideas about what misc items would be good on Grom. But other forging wise, we're doing a bottle of living water because that's just a useful thing to have on a commander who's in fights. We'll probably put that on one of our shamans we send off thugging. We've got boots of stone, that's for Grom. We've got a robe of the sea, that's another water booster, so that we've got 2 water boosters. So then all we need to have is 2 water and 1 death, and we'll be able to get up to death 3 by casting Streams from Hades. And I think, let's have a look around. Can we get water death? I know we can get water 1 death 1. There we go, Squigface. So Squigface, we've decided to empower him into water so that he'll be water 2 death 1. Because that's the best I can do with my mages is water 1 death 1. You can see how useful empowerment can be. We had tons of water gems because we haven't really been spending them. And so our boy Squigface here is going to be a water boy, basically. We're going to give him the robe of the sea, we're going to give him the water bracelet, and then we're going to give him the skull staff. And then that should be enough to get us a water 3 death 3 who can then pick up the skull staff, and then we've got access to death 4, which is nice to have instead of having death 3. I definitely want to set that up so we can do that. And then there's a few things we can cast for that, but death 4 is just generally useful to have. A thing that I didn't mention before is that if we go up high enough in enchantment, which we're going to be doing, we get an enchantment 7, where we were going for Gift of Health. Now we're going to have to do Awakened Tree Lord Gift of Health to get that, get the nature up high enough to cast Gift of Health. And it's not an amazing plan or anything, but along the way we do get Arrow Fend, can be very useful, we can cast it. And we do get relief, obviously, which is good. And we also get mass flight. Now, mass flight really is good for the orcs because we can just toss chariots and stuff on top of people. We can have tons of our orcs leaping all over them. It can be a very difficult one to deal with. And the first few battles you deploy it, people can really struggle to deal with the fact you've got mass flight. So I definitely want to be having that. It costs 2 to cast, which means you need air 3 to cast it. You can't cast it with an air 2. But we can get air 3s and then we can get mass flight going. So yeah, we've already got 1 air 3. I think he's quite mad. Yeah, there is Grubsman Smasher. And we can potentially get... Can we get high enough to air boost? I can't remember if this was an option for us. I think maybe we're not going to be able to make air boosters, but we can certainly have an air 3 move around and cast some mass flight and stuff like that in crucial battles. So we'll remember that one if we can. Other forging wise, we are forging more lightless lanterns. We're constantly doing that. More sanguine dowsing rods. Ring of regeneration because it's useful. I don't have enough helmets at the moment, so a horned helmet. And some boots of the messenger because they're useful for moving mages around, and they're useful on all the thugs that I'm making. And another thug that I've started building is Mechwart here. He's going to need boots of the messenger. I can stick those on him now. He can cast quite a few different buffs and things on himself. Doesn't have a hat currently. We've got enough armor, just not enough hats. We could give him armor of knights and a horned helmet possibly instead of the Kithronic lion pelt. And he doesn't have anything good in the misc slot. There's a few things we could put in there, but yeah, for the moment doesn't have anything there. So I think he's strong enough that he could go and take some stuff on him just with this. Our script for Mechwart would be... What can we cast with Mechwart that would be particularly good? Buffing himself up. So we could do Mistform with one air gem. It's not bad, but it does fatigue you out quite a lot. We can do Iron Skin. I think Iron Skin and Temper Flesh are really obvious starting ones. And we could do Fire Shield. So we can do those three. That's quite strong. Ideally, you would also have Mistform or Moss Body because they combo really well with Temper Flesh. I think... Oh, he can also enlarge himself. But yeah, I think he'd benefit from having regeneration, which he can cast. Personal regeneration is only 2, so we can cast that. So Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, Fire Shield, personal regeneration. Looks pretty decent. Doesn't need the bodyguards. Just get them off him. We've got somebody to give them to. Got quite a few people who've got sets of bodyguards here that was very important earlier on, but much less important now, so we'll just move those off for now. Yeah, so where would we send Mechwart if he was going to go raiding? I think having him available over here would be good. Zogfang is going to go down. So Zogfang's a very similar thug, a bit better equipped, I believe. He is going to go down and raid the second forest. It's a castle, but what I want to do here, so I'm not really going all in on this war with the Tomb Kings, but since they attacked me, basically I just want to hit them and make the battle take place in their territory, which slows them down from invading me, and it also gets me better income as I just nick provinces off them and cause mayhem. I'm a bit aware that if I'm doing this next to the dwarfs, right, they can see me, they can see their border disappearing with the Tomb Kings, so they don't know maybe I'm like really going to completely destroy the Tomb Kings. And if they see that and I'm putting up Mother Oak, they may be provoked to attack me or try and form a coalition against me. It's quite possible, but I can't really worry too much about that. This is not a very diplomacy-heavy game, and Tomb Kings attack me. They've provoked this, so I'm just going to be putting the pressure on them a bit. I prefer to be on the offensive to maintain a defense, if that makes sense. I do want to deal with the Dark Elves, but I'm not in a huge hurry. Like, I've got most of their stuff. If they start causing me problems, that's one thing. So I am moving armies down here, but we're not in a huge hurry, to be honest. We're kind of just patrolling and getting rid of some unrest around here with our armies, because we've got a bit of unrest built up. Yeah, so just a bit of kind of patrolling and so on. Research-wise, we are now up to 864 per month. We could be on like 1,000 potentially next turn with all of the boosters and mages coming off summoning to be doing other stuff instead. You know, we can have more people doing research instead of whatever else they're doing at the moment. We'll see how that goes. And we are forging a Bloodthorn, so we've got another blood booster coming out here. So we'll be up to blood 4 then. I don't have any research in blood. What would be useful to have in amongst everything else? Maybe if I so we had enchantment up to 7. And then conjuration. Let me just get 1 level of blood magic in case that's useful. I don't want the evocation level 1, I think. I don't want to distract people casting this stuff, and I don't want to distract people casting thaumaturgy level 1 either, I think. Yeah, not very interested in those. So let's just do blood magic level 1 on the way to enchantment up to 7, and then conjuration up to 6. Cool. So that's the plan at the moment. It's a bit loose. Doing a bit of attacking here and building up our path diversity and getting Mother Oak up. Every turn we're going to try and do something significant at least, and I think this turn it's really about just getting Mother Oak up, I think, and getting our research supercharged with all these cool research boosters. We've got quite a lot of stuff in our magic treasury. Obviously, the water breathing rings are very situational. But yeah, we've got quite a few things kicking around that I'm not really using very much at the moment, and maybe I need to work out some better uses for those. But I do want to just start manufacturing these thugs. I think the Savage Orc Shamans make particularly nice thugs. I think you might be in a bit of a danger of being not having enough. Oh no, I should leave the Amulet of Resilience off because that's for Grom. Yeah, this is the point. So Grom is going to have Boots of Stone, right? So he's not going to have Reinvigoration from his boot slot, like Boots the Messenger. He's instead going to have it from this Misk slot, and I do want him to have Reinvigoration so that he doesn't fatigue out, even if he is going to be leading armies. So I'm going to put that over there. I believe Mechwarp could potentially cast Strength of Gaia, right? Which is a really... If I throw some nature gems on him, is he able to cast Strength of Gaia? Where would I do that? Where is it? Is it called Strength of Gaia? The spell I'm thinking of is the one that gives them a bunch of things and gives them a boost to nature magic. Yeah, Strength of Gaia. So he'd need to boost up to nature 3, but then that gives him Strength, Barkskin, and Regeneration. Is that good? I mean, the regeneration from it's good, but it's quite fatiguing since he has to boost himself up to do it. Let's just do it. Let's do Strength of Gaia there. Not do personal regeneration. So we'll do Iron Skin, Strength of Gaia. I might have the order of this wrong, honestly. I think it's super important to get Fire Shield up. Let's cast Temper Flesh last. Iron Skin, Strength of Gaia, Fire Shield, Temper Flesh. And then attack. Hold and then attack rearmost enemies. You know what? I could throw flying in there as well. Yeah, go on. Being a bit cheeky, but I believe it's just called Flight. It's a very low level spell. Where is it? Flight, 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 flight. Oh, he's got Flying Shield he could cast as well. He has got some really nice options. Anyway, let's cast Flight and then do attack rear. So we're just kind of generating these thugs and we're going to try out different stuff with them and see how they do. Because I'm against the Tomb Kings, the Frostbrand's actually not particularly great, so perhaps I'm going to try a Thunder Whip instead. Yeah, let's do that because they have a cold resistance because they're skeletons. So we'll give that a go, and we'll just have them kind of moving around and causing some trouble down there. Zogfang's interesting because he can, if we get hold of a lab, he can Cloud Trapeze. We'll see. I'm sure I'm going to get counted at some point being silly with these thugs, but they're kind of interesting, right? They're worth playing around with. Okay, I think that's enough for this turn, so I will see you next turn. Welcome back. It's turn number 39. Let's crack on. We've got level 1 in Blood Magic. I think that was just for Summon Imps. We've got Squigface successfully empowered in Water. That was so that we could cast Stream from Hades when we get to that. Khorne has claimed the Underwater Throne, which they had not bothered to previously. I guess they didn't have a Prophet under there, but now they've got a Prophet. And we have made some more Corpsemen. A Dire Portent, so this is a global going up. Dwarf Tide. So the Dwarfs have put up Earthblood Deep Well, which is pretty high research in enchantment and gives them Earth Gems. It's a very good global, and the Dwarfs, I would say, are the clear competitor with us to win the game. Or the strongest position. It's not necessarily to win the game, but they're in the strongest position relative to us. We cast Mother Oak. It's funny that they just went up at the same time, same turn. And we got loads of Blood Slaves this time. 8 plus 27 and plus 9. Very, very nice. Tons and tons of Blood Slaves. We get to see a battle in the Weld. This is Athaloran, the Wood Elves, fighting against Kislev. This is in a forest, which is definitely to the advantage of the Wood Elves. Now, I'm hoping that this battle's not laggy. We've had some laggy battles reports recently, and I hope this one's okay, but my apologies if it is laggy. So Kislev has got tons of their Sacred Bears, and they've got a pretty decent bless for them, I believe. They've got a bunch of their Bear Cavalry. Other than that, they don't really have very much, though. They've got a few commanders, not very much in the way of mages, and we've got a little bit of horned serpents things. This seems like not a terribly strong army from Kislev, but they've got a couple of war wagons. Those are quite strong, and they've got their leader, Boris Botka. He's their prophet up there. And the Wood Elves have got tons of long dead. I presume these are just to keep the enemy off while they shoot at them. They've got loads and loads of Sisters of the Thorn, which of course are immortal, so they can keep using those, and you can be quite reckless with them. And they've got a lot of them. Gosh, they've got a bunch of Eternal Guard. They've got tons and tons and tons of mages. I mean, this is obviously going to win them the fight anyway. They've got tons and tons of these Dark Weavers and things here. So I would say the Kislev has very little chance in this battle. And then we've got Treekin, and we've got a Treeman Ancient as well. They can be very powerful. So let's see what spells are going to go off. Oh, they've also got Orion. I forgot to mention they get Orion constantly. He is immortal as well. He's quite a pain. So yeah, he's going to be firing away with his bow and causing trouble in general. Not looking great for Kislev. Kislev's Bless has gone up. They have Regeneration, Blood Vengeance, larger. Blood Vengeance is pretty nice. So they are going to tear through these. Nobody's supposed this. So what are the Wood Elves casting? They're casting Swarms and they're casting Charm Animal over and over and over and over and over again. And a bunch of these bears are going to turn around and start ripping their friends apart here. I think some of them already have. And then they've got all of these cavalry charging in. So this is going very badly for Kislev because of all this Charm Animal. It's going to make all their bears switch sides. What else did they just cast there? Is that a Relief going up? I think it was. I think they just threw up Relief. So a very strong army from the Wood Elves, and Kislev just doesn't have the mage support to do anything really. We're going to see they've lost all their long dead pretty much, but Kislev are now in a totally unwinnable position. They're just going to get more stuff charmed. Let's just turbo speed this. Yeah, a bunch of bears have switched sides. Very impressive performance, but a very high commitment from Athel Lauren. So, what did they lose? So they gained a Bear of Kislev. They gained some War Bears, 7 War Bears. They gained some Horned Serpents as well, so they gained a bunch of stuff. And then they lost their Long Dead. They lost 3 of their sisters, which are immortal anyway, and they've got a huge number of them. That's something we definitely need to be aware of, is just how many Sisters of the Thorn they've got. Pretty terrifying. And Kislev lost lots of stuff. The main thing that they lost was losing their War Bears, of course, huge numbers of them. And the battle report's a bit screwed up in terms of what kills and things it's showing there because of the stuff getting charm animaled. So we attacked Tomb Kings in the Second Forest. This was our Thuggy Thug, Zogfang, the Savage Orc Shaman. He's against some Province Defense. Yes, he's attacking a fort, but it's just Province Defense. So he casts Mist Form, Personal Regeneration, Fire Shield. And he's pretty fatigued at this point. And he blesses himself, which gives him Awe, which doesn't matter against the undead, but it's nice to have, I guess. And then he casts Flight on himself. So he can now fly back and attack these guys, I think. Yep. So that should be fairly effective. He didn't take any hits, and that's Nehekara routed, because I killed their leader. So that was a fairly efficient one. Well, considering I've already got the stuff, maybe not efficient in the grand scheme of things. This is War Grimdrag. Oh no, it's not War Grimdrag, sorry, this is a different group, isn't it? Yes, it's a different group, I believe. No, this is War Grimdrag. He just had got a bunch of cavalry join him that I didn't recognise. And this is just against Province Defence. This is an easy one. We just shred through them. Probably going to lose some stuff to Friendly Fire, but that's fine. Yeah, so very simple. Didn't really lose anything valuable. Brittonian, we see the ogres. They are storming the fort here. So this is the AI controlled Brittonian, but they do have some decent stuff in here. We've got some Grail Knights, pretty nasty. We've got a bunch of mages. We've got the mages have got these Guardian Spirit Knights that turn up to defend them when they're in trouble, which they definitely are. And they're going to cast a bunch of stuff. We've got the God of Brittonian here, Milady, the Great Enchantress. Tip of the hat, Milady. The Grail Knights are probably not going to get much done. Oh, they killed the Pit Fighter. So we're going to see how many Pit Fighters can get killed here. If you can catch Pit Fighters on their own, they're killable. It's because of their blood bond that they're so unkillable. So the Grail Knights fighting bravely but unsuccessfully. And they're taking lots of afflictions and things, but blood bond is very effective. So let's storm ahead here. So these guys might do okay. The Spirit Knights, Guardian Spirits. Let's see. They're proving quite hard because they're ethereal. The ogres are struggling to kill them. But they're very outnumbered. Pit fighters are getting shot up and getting more reflections, but they've broken through. This is interesting. So the Great Enchantress has got a bunch of equipment, which is funny that the AI has actually thugged them out. So they've got very high protection. They've got Moss Body, Mist Form. They've got physical resistances. Yeah, they are, and they got Swiftness. They've got pretty good stats, and they're enlarged. That is going to be almost impossible for the ogres to kill because they struggle. I think she's ethereal as well. Yes, she's ethereal as well. So ethereal, Mist Body, physical resistances, and Moss Body is extremely hard to get through. And you can see that she is doing just fine. But she can't hit very hard. Oh, she does a shockwave. There we go. But yeah, look at them all just failing to kill the Pretender. This is very funny that the AI has managed to do this. Well done, AI. Now, on turns when she doesn't cast anything, she just tries to hit them with her stick. Her quarterstaff. Which is... She hits hard, but it's not enough, is it? Yeah, they just can't get through the ethereality and things, right? When she does a shockwave, it hurts them, though. Let's turbo speed it and see what happens. This is such a weird and interesting fight for the AI to get into. And they're routing. Oh, then maybe they're not routing. Maybe they're just going to attack the archers. Yeah, maybe they are. She's shockwaving them. They are slowly dying. Despite their regeneration, they just can't kill her. And every time she does a shockwave, they get more and more beaten up. She's really struggling to kill them, though, just because regeneration plus blood bond is so powerful. But they are passing out now, which makes them more vulnerable. This is a crazy fight. Let's next through a few rounds to speed it up. Are they going to get turn timered? She is occasionally taking a hit, and her hit points are down because every time they manage to hit her hard enough, they do 1 damage to her. Immolation, now that's good. Setting them on fire is going to kill them. And Shocking Grasp. But Immolation is the spell, really, that she wants to use here, not Shockwave. So one of them gets burned. Oh my god, yeah, and they rout, okay. Except some of them berserks they can't rout. That's funny. I'm just going to keep nexting through this. And I guess she just Shocking Grasps this one to death. Wow, okay. So let's see what was lost there. So the Ogre Pit Fighters, they finally lose 12 of them. These are very expensive troops at 90 gold each. Yeah, very expensive, and losing 12 of them, pretty nasty. They lost not much else, though, and Brittonian are basically done. So they just need to send some stuff in with magic weapons to go and kill that god. That's pretty straightforward. Now we see a battle in Nagarond. This is the storming of Nagarond. No, they're just poking me to check. So let's see what Nagarond's got in there. It's nothing! They have moved all their stuff into the fort that I have got next to me. So Khorne just gets Nagarond's... It sucks that I agreed that Khorne could have Nagarond's capital, because it turns out that they moved all their stuff out there and didn't try to make a final stand in there, which is really annoying. Oh well. Unexpected events. We get an Orc Big Boss has turned into a War Boss. Very nice in Rame. Binfield, we get some lazy commoners not being in the militia. We get some air gems, fire gems, air gems, water gems, and earth gems over there. So not bad, but nothing amazing. Found some sneaky enemies. Got discovered. Scout got discovered out in Tomb King land. Another one got discovered out in Dwarf land. Look at this. Look at this crazy force in Pranda. 122 iron rate, 24 iron drakes, 10 rune gust, 39 valkyries. What a terrifying force that is. Let's have a look at those dwarfs just to raid. I mean, look at that. Just incredible. This is because they've got so many resources, they can just build a huge number of these guys, and they're super hard to kill. I'm feeling a bit outgunned by Athel Lauren's, the stuff Athel Lauren can bring into fights, the stuff that the dwarfs can bring in, and maybe the ogres as well. I'm not feeling like my actual troops are good enough quality against them. I think my magic's pretty good though. Okay, so we've got lots of patrolling. Fortification in the Second Forest is unharmed. That's the one we just took with our thug. And we get a multi-hero, Bone Smith the Orc Great Shaman on a Wyvern. So we've got that. So what are we doing this turn? Let's start with our military maneuvers. So we are attacking the Dark Elves at Relothia. I don't know if I'm going to stay on top of the fort here, but I am going to attack it. And because I don't really have a better plan, I'm just going to attack with a big army. They will be having flaming arrows being cast by Bortuk. We're going to have some air elementals coming in. We're going to have some moss body and wooden warriors. We're going to have Howl set off by Red Fang, who's coming in using a thistle mace, so I don't have to use a native nature 3 and risk them. Although I do have one here. This is an amazing guy I recruited. Nature 3, Air 3. That's incredible. So we've got him available. Any Air 3s I get are really good news. And we've got a Prophet there to fight as well. And then some Horde of Skeletons and some cavalry and things. So, quite a strong force attacking there. My god, Gorkzilla, has backed off for now and is not really doing anything. But that's fine. He can just chill there for a bit. He's just doing research and defending that province. I think that's okay. He can always reposition to do other useful things. Over on the Tomb King's front, I'm not really trying to conquer the Tomb Kings, nor am I trying to rush for a throne because I don't want to provoke people to go, oh my god, he's about to win and attack me. This is really just kind of a punitive attack because they attacked me, and it gets me more money, like rampaging around in their territory, and I'd rather that any fight with them happens in their territory rather than mine. But this turn, my thug Zogfang has gone mad, and so he is stuck here for this turn. So in order to avoid him being potentially jumped on by a bunch of stuff, I thought maybe I would just move my army over there. I don't think we'll be able to be in position to just storm that fort straight away, but we can sit on it and threaten these other provinces. I guess another move I could make is I could attack this farmland, but I suspect that this army might join up with a force from Nehekhara and land on that farmland. I don't know, maybe I'm rethinking this. Maybe I should actually just attack the farmland. In fact, that's the more orky thing to do, right? Is just go, I'm just going to take the farmland off you. It's worth more money. So let's just do that, and we'll send these scouts along with him. And we'll just let Zogfang be crazy. Let Zogfang be Zogfang, you know? Meanwhile, Mechwart, who's my other thug, is going to go and attack this province here. He's primarily doing that just so that I've got somewhere for Zogfang to flee to if he goes over there. So we're just moving our thugs around and generally raiding at this point. We're not really getting up to much else. Yeah, I'm not really got like very strong military objectives at the moment. It's like beat the Dark Elves up a bit and maybe push their Dominion down. Fighting them in their fort battle is going to be pretty horrible, to be honest. They're going to cast all kinds of unpleasant spells, including a bunch of Soul Slays because they've got high Thaumaturgy because they've got Burden of Time. But yeah, we'll attack them there, and we will just keep doing punitive raids with Wild Grimdreg on the Tomb Kings. And meanwhile, we're just kind of building up stuff here and doing research. Our research is real good right now. 1076 per month, which is nice. We're doing enchantment 6 and 7 and then conjuration. I think I've talked previously about why. And yeah, just kind of patrolling down some unrest and chilling out over here. I am moving Squeakface. Oh, he's going to do some forging. So forging wise, don't really have any more blood stuff that I want to do. I've got blood 4, fire 1. If I were going to go up in blood magic, I could get up and try and do an archdevil because that's 4 and fire 2, and I could easily get fire 2. And getting archdevils would be pretty cool, right? So we could do blood magic at some point. But this turn I am just researching with them, and I am forging a lightless lantern. Obviously several lightless lanterns because we want more research. That's always worth doing. We are moving more blood hunters out. Have we got another rod for you? No. In that case, you should be forging a rod. We are forging a Skull of Fire, which is an easy to forge fire booster for the greenskins. Very nice, just having some more fire boosters will be useful. And we are forging a new shield, Scutata Volturnus. It's a fun shield we can use, autocast Shocking Grasps. And we're just researching with a high watercaster as well. I did consider summoning a Naiad. In fact, what I'm going to do, because it's just interesting, I think, for people watching, is I am going to summon a Naiad. Because I think... I'm going to check this first, actually, what paths Naiads give me, but I think they're Nature 3, Water 3. And if they are, that means we can get up to Water 5 with the 2 boosters that we have, which would be nice. So let's have a look. Naiads are Water 3, Nature 3. Having a native Nature 3 that can hold Thistledown and Moonvine, yeah, we've already got that, so that doesn't give us any better nature access. It basically just gives us better water. We can get up to Water 5. Does Water 5 get us anything good? Frost Dome. Thetis's Blessing. Now, Thetis's Blessing is pretty cool. It would allow us to be a lot more effective underwater, and it is quite funny to cast it. We can also cast Wrath of the Sea. No. The one that I really like to have is Vengeful Water, but I think Vengeful Water is in a path we're not going down at all. Yeah, Vengeful Water is really high water in Thaumaturgy. It's an incredible spell, though. It's so annoying for people to have to deal with it. Anyway, bunch of forging. We're forging a crystal coin. So boosters wise, doing quite a few Skull of Fire crystal coin. And getting a Scutata Volturnus. We're going to be up to Astral 5 using Airborne, of course. That'd be nice. Back in our capital, not much else going on. We are summoning up another Mound Fiend, a Mound King. We're doing Revive King over here to lead our stuff. And Grom is rolling out. He's got the Boots of Stone now, and he is rolling down there to get involved. Maybe do some fighting down here with the Dark Elves, or maybe do some fighting with the Tomb Kings, whatever presents itself. At this point, I guess I should be coming up with a plan to try and win the game, but I didn't really want to play in this game like going strongly for a win. I just kind of wanted to play and like make some interesting videos for people and test out Warhammer Nations. And I'd kind of rather somebody else was going for the win rather than me, to be honest. I don't want to play that competitively. So I think I'm just going to kind of take it easy, especially over the holidays, and just keep things relatively simple. Just have some wars with people and not a super plan for a win. But I guess if I were going to go for a win, the thing to do would be to hit this throne that the Tomb Kings control, hit this throne that the Tomb Kings control. That's 2 of the 3 that I need. And then the other one is I'd probably go for the Underwater Throne Khorne controls. But Tomb Kings do have 3 thrones, so in theory I could go after 3 thrones that they control. The Athel, oh, the other one's all the way down there. Oh my god. So I'd have to kind of go through Athel Lauren to get to it. Oof. Anyway, those are the options for winning. Maybe I'll do them, who knows. I imagine that something's going to happen, like the dwarves are going to attack me, to be quite honest. Maybe I should get some more vision of their little empire. Maybe me casting Mother Oak is going to provoke people. I don't know, I'm not really doing much diplomacy at the moment. Okay, that's it for this turn, that's it for this video, so I hope you're enjoying watching. Like and subscribe and so on if you are, and I will catch you next video. Bye for now.